Hey guys, Zach here. I'm a medical student in Philadelphia. I've been into the idea of self-improvement and side hustles and stuff like that for a while now. However, I never actually did anything with it. I was caught in kind of like a research spiral. I wasn't actually doing anything. I wasn't taking any action. I was just reading lots of books and watching lots of videos and looking at lots of blog posts. But there were 4 books that actually motivated me and guided me to actually start. As always, I have the timestamps for each book. Let's go right here. If you want to go to a book or skip to a book, please jump around. There's a summary at the end too, which you can jump around to you want. But let's get the books. They're right back here. So the most recent book I read, and the one that actually motivated me to start this YouTube channel, was this book, Show Your Work by Austin Kleon. The main point of the book is that everyone is doing something interesting. Whatever you are aspiring to do, to create, to build, there are other people trying to create something similar to you. And it is even better that you are not a pro. The newbies want to see an amateur. They want a comrade, a compatriot, someone to walk alongside them as they learn their new craft. You can be that person. You can be that person that teaches them how to get started. So be that person. Austin urges us to just start. Don't focus on making money or gaining a career out of it. Don't even focus on gaining a following. Just focus on what you enjoy doing. What do you enjoy learning about or experience? What do you do when you're done work for the day? What do you do to relax? What do you do when you are done the things that you have to do? Are you into cinematography? Do you wish there were more hours in the day so you could learn more about lighting or proper editing or wipe transitions? That was just an example, but find your thing. When you find it, start sharing what you learn and share those things consistently. Austin says, make stuff you love and talk about stuff you love, and you'll attract people who love that kind of stuff. It's that simple. Austin says to only share whatever you would be interested in. So say you want to learn from a guitar player you admire. He has a website, but instead of seeing some awesome tutorials on, I don't even know, guitar, what are chords, he posts about his favorite brand of water bottles. Would you be disappointed? I think I would. And this leads into my favorite quote from the entire book, which Austin actually quotes from one of his professors in college. And that quote is, "So what? So what?" Austin goes on to say, what are you working on? Stick to that question and you'll be good. Don't show your lunch or your latte, show your work. So what do you want to learn about? What do you wish someone could teach you how to do? Learn about that thing and post about it. That's pretty much it. Finally, Mr. Kleon says, it is important to realize that one day you might actually have an audience. Respect your audience, value their time, learn to speak properly, learn to write properly. You're never keeping it real with your lack of proofreading or punctuation. You're keeping it unintelligible. So if you're struggling to start or need that extra push, I really suggest it. The next book is The 4-Hour Workweek by Tim Ferriss. This is kind of the first ever entrepreneurship, start your own business kind of book that I ever read. It was one of the best ones I ever read. Tim Ferriss is an amazing guy. He has a podcast which I listen all the time, which is very good. But the great thing about Tim Ferriss is that everything he tells you is usually an actionable item. It's not fluff. There's very little fluff in all of his books and all of his content. They're real examples on how you can get started and how you can actually accomplish something right now. So the main point of this book is to generate passive income. This is the main kind of goal of this book. I've read it twice now, and each time I learned something new. He gives specific step-by-step guides on how to define your goals as 1, eliminate the unnecessary as 2, automate everything in business and in life, and liberate yourself from whatever is holding you down. So the first step is define. What's important to you? What's your goal? What do you really want? This helped me figure out that I really enjoy medical school and I like medicine, but now that I am in medical school, I have this extra little bit of time, especially this summer. And I've noticed this extra little part of me, this little bit of Zach that likes creating, likes nerding out on camera gear, and likes the idea of starting something that eventually, hopefully, other people will get value out of and will learn something from. I also don't want to depend on medicine for my only source of income. A lot of doctors that I speak to in the hospital, but not all of them, seem to like what they do but feel a little bit burnt out, or a lot of it burnt out. A lot of the doctors, they wish they could work a few less hours, but they still have to pay off their student loans, which are usually over a lot of money, like $200,000. And maybe their daughter just got accepted to a university charging like $60,000 a year. My goal, what's important to me, would be to be able to teach people cool things that I find cool and make some money with it. That's it. So I started a YouTube channel and a blog because that was the best way I thought I could accomplish those goals. Okay, end my mini rant, back to the books, back to the good stuff. So when you figure out your goal, Tim says to eliminate everything unnecessary. He introduces the 80-20 rule, which says that the 80% of what you're doing isn't that important. The other 20% is. The 20% is making the real impact. Double, triple, quadruple down on that 20% and you will reap the benefits. Another thing that he says you can do is stop multitasking. When you are writing, just write. Don't have the TV on in the background, turn your phone on airplane mode, turn off the internet on your computer, just write. When writing, write. Then Tim says we should automate. There are better specific guidelines inside of this book, but basically when you automate, you create time for the more important things, for the 20%. This is why when you call the customer support line at Microsoft, you don't get Bill Gates on the phone. Bill Gates' time is spent on much better things than answering customer support questions, such as figuring out ways to prevent kids in Africa from dying from malaria. Finally, Mr. Ferris says liberate. You have your plan, you have your dream, you know what you need to eliminate, you know how to eliminate, now you need to execute it. How do you apply this to your day job, to your side hustle? Slowly transition. Make small changes that over time will be big changes. For example, if you work in an office, try to slowly transition to working at home. Mid-coronavirus, this is much easier, but you must still be generating value for the company. You must demonstrate to your boss or whoever you're answering to that you can keep giving value, maybe even more value when you're working from home. And again, this seems like the new normal post-COVID, so maybe it'll be easier to do. Some other small things that I learned from this book is to carry around a small physical notebook. In it, write to-dos, ideas, observations, anything that you think is important or worth writing down. Finally, do things that you enjoy. The whole point of this book and the whole point of Tim Ferriss writing this book, I think, is to free up time so you can do what drives you, what excites you. The third book is Steal Like an Artist. This is another book by Austin Kleon because I think his books are great and they're really nice and easy to read. Okay, so is it okay to steal someone's work, someone's art? Well, Austin argues yes, as long as you do it right. As a new YouTuber, I certainly draw my inspiration from others. I may even be copying people, but I feel I'm putting my own spin on things, making it Zach's. In one of my favorite passages from the books, Austin tells us to pick someone we admire, then learn as much as we can about that person. What drives them? What is their style? What is their niche? What is about them that makes them successful? So learn everything about that person as you can, and then the key next step is find 3 people that person followed, that person admired. Repeat the process of learning everything you can about these 3 new people. Eventually, you will have created like a family tree kind of thing where it consists of all the people you admire, all the people you admire. And once you have established this tree, you can grow your own branch. Or, in other words, use all the insights and strategies from the people you have learned about to create something for yourself, to create something completely your own. Your work will definitely have visible influences, but it will be a blend of all those ideas. You will, maybe without even realizing it, pick the ideas from the people and pick the principles from the people that you agree with the most and that you feel represent you the most. At that point, you will be creating something new. You will be creating something your own, whether you like it or not. Finally, don't wait to start your own branch. Start now, start creating, start failing. You will learn exponentially more things from doing and from failing than from reading books about what you are meant to do. I know this firsthand from learning about how to make a YouTube channel and recording videos and stuff like that. I learned the most in the first week or 2 of recording videos than I did for like a year or 2 of learning about how you're meant to do it. Steal like an artist, create your tree, and start making something that's your own. Last and final book is Anything You Want by Derek Sivers. This was an amazing book. Derek says to put customers first and follow your passion. If you follow those 2 things, you will succeed. Who is Derek? Derek was a struggling musician who wanted to sell his CDs online, but at the time there was no website for independent musicians to sell their CDs. So what did he do? He solved his own problem. He made a website that sold his CDs online. He had no idea how to code or how to start a website. He learned. He had no idea how to legally start a business or ship CDs. He learned. He figured out how to fix a problem that he had. But how did he compete with other companies like Apple and some other companies that were selling CDs online? Well, he put the customers first. He says, if you're ever unsure what to prioritize, just ask your customers the open-ended question, how can I best help you? Then focus on satisfying those requests. Finally, Derek says to not forget why you are going into what you're doing. So whenever I'm at a crossroads or stuck, I remember this quote, my favorite quote from the entire book about what you should be doing. Pay close attention to what excites you and what drains you. Pay close attention to when you're being the real you and when you're trying to impress an invisible jury. I love that quote because so many times I think people are doing something because other people tell them they should be doing it. And sometimes those are for good reasons, but a lot of times it's hard to kind of look into yourself and see, what do I enjoy doing? What kind of builds me up as opposed to breaks me down during the day? When you find the things that you want to do for fun that build you up and that you really enjoy doing, you'll be able to do those things without any motivation or weird motivation techniques. Overall, I loved this book. What I think Derek is trying to say is do something that you enjoy, do something that benefits people, and kind of the rest will come. So in summary, we have Show Your Work by Austin Kleon, and he says, share what you are working on, only share what you would be interested in, and use proper grammar. Next, we have The 4-Hour Workweek by Tim Ferriss. And what he says is, generate passive income with DEAL, D-E-A-L. D, define your goal. E, eliminate the unnecessary using the 80-20 rule. A, automate as many things you can in work and life so you can spend time doing the things that actually matter. And L, liberate. Execute your plan of action, make your dreams come true. Third book we have is Steal Like an Artist. So what does Steal Like an Artist say? Start your own branch and just start. Don't wait until you know who you are to get started. And the big secret in his book, the chapter that he says, this is the big secret, is do good work and share it with other people. Finally, we have Anything You Want by Derek Sivers. And Derek says, put customers first and follow your passion. That's it. Thanks for watching. I hope you gained something out of this. These 4 books really did change my life, and they're the books that got me motivated to start actually doing something. So yeah, thanks for watching. See ya in the next one.